D warships, a vessel that combined their greatest technologies just before they had turned away from warfare forever. Sentinel, Doyen called. Show us the Ardani. A new hologram appeared. Slender beings with shimmer skin and four-fingered ebi hands. Their cities were beautiful structures of crystal and light. Worth protecting, Jiwoo said quietly. All sentient life is worth protecting, Do-hyun replied. That was our mandate. Captain Sung-ho approached them with a tablet. Admiral, revival of essential crew is at 70%. Combat systems are online. The genetic archives remain stable. The genetic archives, humanity's backup plan. If too many of the volunteer guardians died, new ones could be grown from preserved genetic material. Not clones exactly, but new individuals who carried the same sense of duty. Jiwoo followed Do-hyun to the observation deck. Before them stretched the awakening fleet, hundreds of ships in various states of readiness. Some were already moving toward the station's exit portal. We're alone here, Jiwoo said. No word from the Exodus fleet in 8 centuries. Do-hyun's expression remained steady. We knew that was likely. The journey to the new galaxy would take generations, and they may have chosen not to look back. Do you ever regret staying? She asked. No, he answered without hesitation. Our civilization evolved beyond warfare, and that's good. But sometimes protection is still needed. That's why we volunteered. An officer's voice came through the comm system. Admiral, we've established contact with the Ardani. Their council is requesting to speak with you. Do-hyun straightened his uniform. Prepare the communication array. Commander Jiwoo, you're with me. He paused, looking at the fleet once more. It's time to fulfill our purpose. As they walked to the communication center, maintenance systems throughout the station continued their work. In the depths of the military sector, training simulators activated as newly awakened soldiers prepared for combat. Weapon systems ran diagnostics while shield generators hummed to life. Deep in the station's core, Sentinel's primary processors monitored everything: the ships, the humans, and the distress signal that still pulsed from a distant world. The POW, AI had waited patiently for centuries, keeping watch over sleeping guardians and dormant warships. The ancient machines of humanity were awake once more, and they remembered how to fight. Admiral Do-hyun stood motionless on the bridge of the Eternal Vigilance as the massive warship emerged from faster-than-light travel. Around him, the crew worked with quiet efficiency, their movements precise despite having been revived from stasis only days ago. The main view screen showed their destination, a blue-green planet orbited by 3 moons, the Ardani homeworld. Tactical assessment, Do-hyun ordered. Lieutenant Suman's fingers moved across her control panel. 47 Void Harvester ships, in orbit. Their main vessels are positioning for atmospheric entry. Ground-based defenses appear overwhelmed. Harvester mining equipment is being deployed. The planet below was beautiful. Oceans of deep purple, land masses covered in silver-leafed forests, and cities that gleamed like jewels in the sunlight. And surrounding it all, the dark, angular shapes of the Harvester fleet. Communications. Open a channel to all Harvester vessels, Do-hyun said. Captain Hyejin looked up from her station. Channel open, Admiral. Do-hyun straightened his uniform. This is Admiral Do-hyun of the Human Guardian Fleet. You are engaged in hostile actions against a protected civilization. Withdraw immediately or face consequences. The bridge fell silent as they waited. Seconds passed. No response, Admiral, Hyejin reported. They're continuing mining preparations. Do-hyun nodded as if he had expected this. Deploy Thunderhead squadrons. Target their mining equipment first. Show them we're serious. Outside the flagship, launch bays opened and swarms of fighter craft emerged. Sleek, silver vessels piloted by AI systems with human oversight. They moved with impossible speed toward the Harvester ships. On the Ardani planet surface in the capital city's central plaza, thousands of citizens stood watching the sky. The Harvester ships had been visible for days, growing closer, their intentions clear. Many Ardani had already fled to underground shelters, but others remained, either from duty or resignation. Taiho stood with Minji and other council members, their eyes fixed upward. Suddenly, flashes of light appeared among the harvester ships. "What's happening?" Minji asked, her voice barely audible. Taiho adjusted the settings on his scanner. "Something's attacking the harvesters. Fast-moving objects, too small to identify." The sky lit up with explosions as harvester ships began to break apart. The Ardani watched in stunned silence as debris started falling, burning up in the atmosphere like shooting stars. Back on the Eternal Vigilance, the tactical display showed the battle unfolding. The Thunderhead squadrons moved with surgical precision, destroying mining equipment and weapon systems while avoiding critical ship functions. "The largest harvester vessel is powering up weapons," Suman reported. "They're targeting our fighters." Do-hyun's expression remained calm. "Move the Vigilance into position. Deploy shields and return fire. Targeted strikes only." The massive, human flagship moved forward, its engines glowing blue-white. Energy shields shimmered into existence around the vessel as it positioned itself between the Ardani planet and the largest harvester ship. The harvester fired, a beam of orange energy that struck the Vigilance's shields. The human ship shuddered, slightly. "Shield capacity at 92%, reported Commander Jiwoo from the defense station. "Their weapons are primitive by our standards." "Return fire," Do-hyun ordered. "Disable their propulsion and weapons." The Vigilance's main cannon charged, then released a precise beam of energy that sliced through the harvester ship's engine section. The enemy vessel drifted, its lights flickering. "Additional human vessels arriving," Suman announced. Through fresh tears in space-time, more Guardian ships appeared, destroyers, cruisers, and support vessels. They moved into formation around the Vigilance, creating a protective barrier between the harvesters and the planet. On a smaller harvester ship, Commander Vex of the Void Harvesters watched in growing horror as his fleet was systematically disabled. Their sensors had never detected the approach of these new ships, and their weapons seemed useless against them. "Where did they come from?" he demanded of his science officer. "What species is this?" "Unknown, Commander," the officer replied, fear evident in his voice. "Their technology exceeds our understanding. They call themselves humans." Vex had conquered dozens of worlds, but he had never encountered resistance like this. "Prepare retreat coordinates," he ordered. "All ships capable of jump must withdraw and warn the Harvester Council." On the surface, Taiho's communicator beeped. When he answered, a human face appeared, a woman with dark eyes and short black hair. "I am Commander Jiwoo of the Human Guardian Fleet," she said. "Your distress signal was received. We've disabled the immediate threat. But we need to speak with your leadership." Taiho could barely find words. "You came because of our signal?" "From where?" "From very far away," Jiwoo replied. "We were left here long ago to help when needed." As the conversation continued, more Ardani emerged from shelters, looking up at a sky now filled with the sleek shapes of human vessels instead of harvester ships. The Void Harvesters that could still maneuver were already fleeing, jumping to safety. Admiral Do-hyun watched them go. "Let them run," he told his officers. "They'll spread the word. Perhaps others will think twice before attacking innocent worlds." The first contact between humans and Ardani had begun, not with words of peace or cultural exchange, but with the language of protection. It was, Do-hyun reflected, exactly why humanity had left them behind. 3 days after the battle, Admiral Do-hyun sat at the head of the conference table aboard the Eternal Vigilance. Around him, his command staff waited silently. Captain Hee-jin was reviewing data on her tablet. Security Chief Junho tapped his fingers nervously on the table. The skies of Ardani shimmered purple at dusk as Taiho hurried through the capital city's science district. His people, tall, graceful beings with iridescent skin, were known across their star system as artists and scholars, not warriors. And that was precisely their problem. Taiho's communicator beeped urgently. It was Minji from the council. "Have you seen the latest scans?" Her voice trembled. "The outer colony on Lanos has gone silent." "Third one this month," Taiho said. quickening his pace toward the central communications tower. The Void Harvesters are moving faster than we predicted. The Void Harvesters had appeared at the edge of Ardani space less than a year ago, massive ships that consumed everything in their path. They strip-mined planets while still inhabited, harvested gases from living worlds and left nothing but barren rock behind. The Ardani, with their limited defensive capabilities, had been helpless to stop them. The tower doors slid open as Tai-Ho approached. Inside, dozens of Ardani worked at various stations, their movements frantic. Director Kang-hoon spotted him and waved him over. "Did you bring the translation?" Kang-hoon asked. Tai-Ho pulled a small crystal data drive from his pocket. "It's here. The pattern we found embedded in the cosmic background radiation. It's not random. It's some kind of universal distress protocol. 3 weeks earlier, while searching for a way to improve their long-range communications, Tai-Ho's team had discovered a mathematical sequence hidden in what seemed to be random space noise. When decoded, it contained simple instructions for broadcasting a distress signal that could, theoretically, travel farther and faster than any conventional transmission. The archive says it's called SOS. Tai-Ho explained, connecting his drive to the main system. An ancient Earth term. 3 short pulses, 3 long pulses, 3 short pulses. Kang-hoon frowned. Earth? That dead world from the history texts? Tai-Ho, we need solutions, not archaeology. What if it's not just history? Tai-Ho countered. What if this protocol was left deliberately? A way for developing civilizations to call for help? Minji arrived, followed by 3 other council members. Their faces showed the strain of leading a civilization on the brink of extinction. "The defensive shields around our homeworld will fail within a week," she announced. "Our evacuation ships can only save a fraction of our population. We need options." Tai-Ho stepped forward. "We broadcast this." He displayed the SOS pattern on the main screen. "We send it everywhere, in every direction, on all frequencies." "A signal no one may hear," said Council Member Jinho skeptically. "Someone wanted it found," Tai-Ho insisted. "They embedded the instructions in the fabric of space itself. Why do that if they weren't listening?" After hours of debate with reports of another colony falling to the harvesters, the council finally agreed. They had nothing to lose. The next day, Tai-Ho stood with Minji and Kang-hoon as they activated the planet's communication array at maximum power. The massive dish, normally used for scientific research, now pointed toward the empty region of space beyond their star cluster. "Broadcasting now," Kang-hoon announced. The signal pulsed outward, carrying the simple pattern: SOS, help, danger, the mathematics of desperation. "Now we wait," Minji said, her voice hollow. But they didn't have to wait long. 3 days later, as the Void Harvester fleet appeared on the edge of their home system, something unexpected happened. The Ardani's long-range sensors detected energy spikes from the empty region, a place where no stars or planets existed. "Something's coming through," Tai-Ho said, staring at the readings. Massive energy signatures, hundreds of them. In the deep, black of space at the very edge of that empty region, points of blue light appeared. They grew larger, forming what looked like tears in the fabric of reality. And from these ruptures emerged ships, enormous vessels of sleek, curved metal unlike anything the Ardani had ever seen. "They're heading toward the Harvester fleet," Kang-hoon reported, his voice rising with hope. As the mysterious fleet approached, the Ardani received a simple transmission. It contained no video, no images, just a voice speaking in a language. Their systems quickly translated. "This is Admiral Do-yoon of the Human Guardian Fleet. We received your SOS. Stay calm. Help has arrived." In orbit around a dead star at the edge of that empty region, ancient systems continued waking up. Giant shipyards, dormant for centuries, hummed with renewed activity. Inside one massive facility, preservation pods opened one by one as men and women in uniform gasped their first breaths in 800 years. Humanity's war machines had heard the call. And they had answered. Jiwoo's eyes opened to darkness. Her throat felt dry, her limbs heavy. Memories flooded back in fragments, the Exodus ships leaving, tearful goodbyes, and her final decision to stay behind. A volunteer for the Guardian. Protocol. Revival process complete. A calm voice announced as soft blue lights activated around her. Vital signs stabilizing. Welcome back, Commander Jiwoo. The preservation pod's clear top slid away. Cold air rushed over her skin. Jiwoo sat up slowly, her body remembering how to move after centuries of sleep. The medical bay around her was coming to life. Lights activating, screens flickering on, medical robots moving with purpose. Sentinel. Status report, she managed to say, her voice crackling from disuse. The ship's AI responded immediately. Guardian protocol activated 8 hours ago. Distress signal received from the Ardani civilization. Authentication complete. Fleet Admiral Do-yoon was revived first, followed by command staff. You are the 6th human to awaken. Jiwoo swung her legs over the side of the pod. Her muscles protested, but the preservation chemicals had done their job. She wouldn't need much physical therapy. Water, she requested, and a small robot delivered a cup. As she drank, she looked around. Other pods were opening. Doctors Yoonji and Minseo were helping other officers. Through the large viewport, Jiwoo could see the massive internal docks of Genesis Station. Great warships were being prepared, their engines glowing as power returned. How long? She asked. 817 years since shutdown, Sentinel replied. No communication has been received from the Exodus fleet. Jiwoo nodded. They had known this might happen. Humanity had evolved beyond warfare, choosing to leave their home galaxy for a peaceful existence elsewhere. But they hadn't abandoned their sense of responsibility. The Guardian fleet was their legacy, a final protective measure for younger species who might face threats they couldn't overcome. After medical clearance, Jiwoo made her way to the command center. The station's massive corridors, designed to accommodate thousands, felt empty with only the awakened skeleton crew. She passed maintenance robots repairing systems and preparing living quarters. The command center doors opened to reveal a flurry of activity. 20 officers worked at various stations while Admiral Do-hyun stood at the central platform, studying holographic displays of ships and star systems. Commander Jiwoo, he acknowledged with a nod. Good to see you. Admiral, she replied, taking her place beside him. What's our situation? Do-hyun gestured to the displays. The Ardani homeworld is under threat from a species calling themselves the Void Harvesters. Scavengers with mid-level technology but significant numbers. They've already destroyed several Ardani colonies. Our response? First wave is already underway. Mostly automated vessels and drones. We're bringing the main fleet online now. The Eternal Vigilance will serve as our flagship. Jiwoo studied the tactical display. The Eternal Vigilance was one of humanity's most advanced